Alright, what is up boys and girls, welcome back to another video. As always, thank you very much for joining me. I am Crypto Maximalist. Please do like and subscribe and leave a comment down below for the channel. Today I'm doing another sponsored video with HyroTrader, so thank you very much for them for reaching out so that we can get some videos done together. It's something that I've been very interested in for a while, doing prop firm trading, and something that I've been personally doing in the Forex market for the past few years. HyroTrader, if you don't know, are essentially a cryptocurrency prop trading firm. You can see here I'm on their panel right now, and you can see I've got a challenge which has been completed. I'm on the stage 3 of my challenge, which means I'm now funded with a $25,000 USDT account, which is really interesting. Basically, if you don't know about what prop firms are and you haven't watched the first video, which I recommend that you do watch because it does explain this in more detail, prop firms essentially allow you to buy challenges for a small fee, and then if you pass the challenge by being a good trader and trading within their trading rules, you will be able to essentially trade with a larger amount of capital than you otherwise might have. You can see here, these are the rules that you'd have to pass in order to keep your challenge progressing. Obviously I'm on phase 3, so these are my rules now. I don't actually have to hit a profit target, but you still have to abide by the rules. The daily drawdown limit of 5%, the maximum loss of 10% for example, and the maximum exposure. Basically all of these are in place so that you can trade responsibly and within rules. And if you can complete this, basically on the first step of the challenge you have to reach a profit target of 10%. On the second phase it's 5%, and then once you get to a fully funded challenge like I am here, you'll be able to essentially trade within those rules, and then any profit that you make you can request payouts for. Very interesting system indeed. And I thought it would be a good video today if I could just go on to ByBit. Since the first video explained so much about all of this, I thought we'd go on to ByBit and essentially open and close a few trades just so people can see what is going on the charts and exactly how easy it is once you connect your HyroTrader to ByBit, which again in the first video is something that I covered in detail. You'll be able to see just how easy it is to connect everything up, and then once you're on it you'll be able to come onto this panel and platform for ByBit here and be able to trade via their really good interface and platform. You can see here I opened a few trades yesterday just to show people what it is like basically when you are in some trades on ByBit. I'll also open a few new trades today so you can see in more detail exactly how the process works and my thought process. So right now we're on the chart for Veracity, which is a cryptocurrency that's popular on the Crypto Maximalist channel, and you can actually trade this on ByBit through HyroTrader on their funded accounts, which is really interesting for me and something that I've been using to essentially trade Veracity and get the most out of it, because obviously I do a lot of chart analysis for Veracity in general. And we can see here we are looking like Veracity right now. Let me get this on the logarithmic scale. It has been coming down for the past few days into this area of demand, so I did open a small long position in this area just because I felt like we were going to get a reversal back around soon for Bitcoin, and obviously if Bitcoin bounces then Veracity will also follow suit. You can see I'm in a little bit of drawdown right now, $65 of drawdown. And if you come over here to the margin balance, you're actually able to see your total account balance size, which is connected to your prop fund account. Obviously I've got a 25k account with HyroTrader right now, so overall I'm down around $350 on these positions right now that I opened yesterday, but these are just for testing purposes, and usually I probably wouldn't open this many trades at one time in the same direction, but right now I'm doing this just to basically showcase what we're doing with the interface and why it is so good. ByBit in my opinion has got one of the best interfaces for trading. It's very simple. Going through some of these parts of the panel on the trading side here, you can obviously see you've got your chart here. Let's go to a fresh chart and open a small position on something else just to have a look and showcase how easy it is to trade on here. Let's do Solana. Let's go find Solana. So you can obviously go into your menu up here, find any pair that you want to trade. ByBit has loads of pairs, which is a really interesting when you think how limited prop firm trading is for cryptocurrency. For example, I have FTMO accounts and you can trade cryptocurrency, but you can only trade like 10 pairs, and it's Bitcoin and Ethereum XRP, and then the rest of them are really old pairs that no one really cares about. You can see here ByBit has an absolute ton of pairs, which is a really big advantage for HyroTrader. Being able to trade all of these pairs with leverage and with a prop firm account is a really big deal. So we're looking at the Solana chart here. We're on the hourly time frame. We can see if we look at the daily, we've been on a really nice tear for a good while. Very significant move to the upside. Recently here you can see we've broken out and back tested this area of structure. basically we were in a bit of a range, you would say, overall, going up and down like this in a range, and then we finally broken out and back tested into this area. So in my opinion, I took a long position on my personal accounts in other areas when we came down and back tested into this area, just because I knew that we would bounce. You can see we're retracing again here because of what Bitcoin's been doing, but I think we're coming into an area of demand where we're probably going to have a bounce to the upside. So I'm thinking about getting long in this situation. You can see here we've come into this area and started to consolidate this previous area of structure, looking like somewhere where we could potentially start to bounce. Also, you can see the wick, this massive wick that we had yesterday has come down and been filled. I could imagine that once the market's open fully for the US market open, etc., we could see this bouncing back up to fill in this gap up towards this area in the next few days. This could be a scenario, obviously I could be wrong, but right now if I'm thinking this and I want to get long, usually what I do is 10x leverage on my accounts, just because it gives me a lot of wiggle room and it gives me the ability to have large stop losses, and also means that if I use 10x leverage with 1% of the account size, which it would be done just by basically dragging this to the side for 1%, it means I can stay well within the rules of the challenge, and it gives me a lot of flexibility if I want to add or remove positions later on. It just means basically that I don't blow the account straight away by going over the margin, the overall max margin requirement, or the maximum value size of a certain position or total positions. It's really important when you're working with prop firms to read the rules carefully and make sure you are abiding by them. And generally speaking, I like to open really small positions first so that I can get an idea of the wiggle room I have with the positions. So if I wanted to open a position here with 1% of my account size, you can see the value here, and 10x leverage is generally what I use, although you can obviously change this to whatever you like. You can actually go all the way up to 75x leverage on Solana, which is a massive amount. Obviously be careful with leverage because it can be your absolute downfall if you're not careful. I use 10x leverage because I find it to be a good middle ground between extra exposure and not too much risk multiplied as well. So for example, if I wanted to open a long position here on Solana, you can see here basically I've got my 10x leverage, I've got a 1% sizing, and then because I just use market orders, I don't use limit orders unless I'm looking for particular levels to be hit when I'm not here. If I press buy long here, it'll open the position, and then you can see the position is now open down here. The rules for HyroTrader are that you need to place a stop loss within 5 minutes of opening your position. So if you go onto your position here, you can either drag your stop loss down like this, and it will open the add take profit stop loss menu, and you can add the whatever stop loss and take profit you'd like here. I usually use a $250 stop loss on positions. If you think I've got a daily drawdown of 1,250 and a max drawdown of 2,500, which is 10% of the account, generally speaking, I want to be risking 1% of my account size per trade. So that would be $250 basically, which is the risk sizing and the risk management that I like to do personally. And then if I wanted to add a take profit, usually I just add a really large one and then I drag them around afterwards. So you can see here now, if I drag this out a bit, you'll be able to see. Let me just put this on the 4 hours so it's a bit easier to see. You can see now I have my stop loss set here at $250 below, which is just below this major swing high area here, swing low area here, which is probably a good area to have it. You can see this is a major area of support that did bounce. We did bounce up before, and it also lines up really nicely with this big area of demand where we probably would bounce again, provided that the market doesn't have a really big pullback overall in line with what Bitcoin's been doing. And you can see the take profit up here at above the local swing high at around $1,200 of profit if we come up and hit that. So you can see just how easy it is to trade with ByBit. It's really, really simple. This will now play out in either direction. We'll either come down, hit the stop loss, or we'll wiggle around for a bit and head up and hit the take profit. Depending on what Bitcoin does, we'll probably see ourselves wiggle around for some time. Obviously Bitcoin leads the market, and you can never know for sure what's going to happen in the future, but generally speaking, I feel quite confident that Solana is a strong asset, and it's already bounced at this area once. It will probably come down potentially and bounce here again and move up. Overall, I feel like this is probably the most likely scenario, which is why I opened this position. And you can see I've risked basically 1% of my account, $250, which I think is appropriate sizing, considering that I have essentially five 1% in one day that I can risk, the daily drawdown being 1,250, which is 250 times 5. And obviously, I think that that is just good risk management on a funded account where you have rules to respect, keeping well within the rules of basically having large, not too large of a value overall being broken. Basically, when you have that account sizing maximum, you can't have positions over 50k for a 25k account, so I'm keeping well within those parameters. And also my margin, initial margin parameter as well, I'm keeping well below that. So it's really important when you are trading, as I said, to keep in mind all of these things. If I look at my look at my challenge here again that's been passed, you can see, make sure you go and read these rules if you sign up for a challenge. Unlimited trading period, you have a mandatory stop loss. You can see here, you can only risk a maximum of 3% per position on your initial account balance, which would be $750 on a stop loss, I believe. You can see here, traders have 5 minutes to enter a trade to set a stop loss. As I said, the daily drawdown limit is 5%. So if you've got 250 times 5, you can basically have 5 positions with the stop loss of that at a time per day. And the maximum loss is 10%, which is 2,500. So you can only lose that much before the account is failed, and then you will have to basically get a new challenge and pass all the stages to get back into what you need to do. You can see here 25% of the initial balance as margin for open positions, which is what I talked about as well, and the open position value, which is what I said as well. 50k is the max for a 25k account, and just make sure that you are trading, even if you just put a tiny trade to keep your account open. This is all really good, and I actually did request a payout and get the payout confirmed on this account yesterday or the day before, just to showcase that this is legit and that you do get payouts. I basically requested my payout, and then within an hour the payout was confirmed. I just did a small $200 USDT payout. Basically, I think I actually requested this at like 1:30 a few days ago, and it pretty much went through straight away. You can see by 2 o'clock it was confirmed, straight to my TRC20 USDT address, paid out straight away. Obviously TRC20 USDT, it went straight into my account, and that's it. HyroTrader came through for me, got a nice payout, and now I'm looking to trade this account going forward and hopefully get some more payouts in the future. Right now everything is going fine, and I'm just waiting to see what happens next with the markets. But overall, that's a little overview of how I trade on my HyroTrader account. I very much appreciate you coming and checking out this video. Please do check out HyroTrader. I will leave links for them in the description. Like and subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.